Yes, I am late. Yes, I am late. I apologize for that. I am so sorry. Okay. Life happens. So don't shoot me. Just pray for me. Pray for me. I will be on camera in a second as soon as I get my stuff together. All right. Um, let me let me first say Happy New Year. It is officially 2021, darlings. So happy New Year to everybody. I'm I just got in the house. So y'all just gonna have to pray for me. Okay? Some of y'all mad because I was an hour late. I'm always late. Okay? I can't help that. Well, I can, but this time I couldn't. Like, real talk. Hello. I see y'all trickling in. Hello. This time I couldn't help it. I had to go out and pick up some things. I thought I would be back in time, but I was not. So I sincerely apologize for that. Y'all know I would never, ever not go live if I could avoid it. Okay. So let me just put my camera on so y'all can see. Okay. So ain't nobody in their feelings, honey, or in their bag. All right. So we got a few things to talk about. Okay. First things first. Like I said, it is the new year. So happy new year to everyone. I hope you guys had a good new year. I hope you guys had a great Christmas, all of that good stuff. Now, I promised y'all we would have a little conversation about some of the things that have been going on in the wrestling world. Now, first things first, we gotta pay our respects. Hello, Quan. Hi, Trevon. Hi, Songstress. Hi, Night Shira. Is that how I say your name? I don't want to mess your name up, boo. So I want to make sure I get it right. Sorry if my nail keep getting in the way. I can't help that. So first things first, we're gonna be respectful and pay our respects to Brody Lee. I'm gonna show y'all a little clip from the WWE superstars giving their respects. It's gonna be real short. If you want to see the full clip, you go to my YouTube, it will be there. Cause I don't want WWE to flag this. So I'm like literally gonna show you a small, minute amount. No, that's not mine. A small, minute amount of this video. Hold on.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a really good guy. And I'm a better person for getting the chance to know him, and a better person.
When I say a small amount, baby, I mean a small amount because they will snatch it down if I play any more. So let me put my earbuds in so y'all can hear me. Let me know in the comments if you can hear me, please. I want to make sure y'all can hear me. All right. So let me turn my camera. There we go. That's better. All right. So let me put my banner up. Okay. Now that we got that out the way, we're going to say rest in peace to Brody Lee. We don't want to do anything, to upset anybody. We just wanted to pay our respects to Brody and be done with it. Because I know we're being browbeaten to death with it, and I know that it is difficult for a lot of people. So we're just gonna we're just gonna say to Brody, rest in peace, and let that be what it is, hunty. Okay. So as soon as my husband come back up here, I'll have light and y'all can see me a little bit better. But we're gonna get into this thing because it's only three of y'all. So we're gonna wrap, okay? Hello, Sasha. How are you? What's going on in Brazil, honey? Oh no. Tawdriness. Okay. All right. So let's talk. Let's talk. So we did watch SmackDown. If you didn't, yeah, definitely should. SmackDown was a very good show. It was solid. It continued on with storylines. I told you they weren't going to stop with KO and Roman, but they didn't bring Seth Rollins back. So that right there, that didn't happen. They did a lot of tag teams on SmackDown this week, which I kind of liked. The only thing that weirded me out was Otis and Daniel Bryan. I them hip thrusts, them hip thrusts was a lot, baby. But whatever floats your boat, honey. Whatever floats your boat. So SmackDown is in the books. If you didn't watch SmackDown, I do suggest you. I think you should. Some highlights was Billy Kay. Billy Kay was funny. She had really great comedic timing. She was out there. She gave you a lot of entertainment, and I like Billy in that capacity. So I think that Billy would work very well as someone's manager, and I think they're going to eventually put her in somebody in a role for someone or some team, which I think is the best move for her. And that is something that they do need to bring back is valets and managers. That is definitely a lost art. It's definitely a lost character. And I know that Fox wants to focus solely on the sport, but you have to understand that wrestling is about the theatrics and the pageantry and the fun. And when you take that away, you miss a piece of wrestling. So they got to bring that back into wrestling. Ooh, shady bitch. See this right here. This let me make it so that it's loud, live, and in color, honey, so everybody can see. Okay, because you just hateful. You ain't have to do me like this. You didn't have to do me like this. I had somewhere I had to go, so I couldn't be on time. Okay, don't be mad at me. So I'm gonna put some rest of y'all comments up here. Rick Brody Lee. All right. So yes, I'm here. Don't start with me. Don't do that. It's not nice. It's not nice. Okay. So SmackDown was good. I highly recommend that you watch it. And I think you should watch NXT as well. That was also a good show. Plus, I think next was it this week? When is New Year's Evil? Was it Wednesday? Because I missed NXT this week. And I thought New Year's Evil was gonna be next week. I don't know why I thought that. Let me see. It should be next week because they didn't have Finn Balor and what's his face's match this week. It should be next week, right? Miss Billy Kay had me darn a lot. Yeah, she's funny. And I like Billy in that capacity. But wrestling wise, she need a little bit of help. It is this week. Well, damn, what day is it? Is this week coming? Is this Wednesday coming? Okay, girl. All right, so we gonna get into all of that. I just have to get myself situated. Okay, we gotta get ourselves situated, but non-wrestling related. So y'all remember a few weeks ago, I was telling y'all I went to a bake-off and I won in the bake-off. I did get third place, but I did win in the bake-off, right? So here's what my trophy looks like. I got my trophy, bitch. I got it. That's the name of my bakery. Right there. Boom. I got my trophy, so I'm very proud of her. She looks very nice. I'm gonna put her up somewhere. Probably gonna put a shelf over my belt back there and put it up on the shelf or something. Any whoosies. So let's talk. Let's just jump around a little bit and talk. So Biggie is the new IC champion. He won it last week at SmackDown. He beat Sami Zayn, and this week he had a match with Corbin, and the match was okay. And then they added in Apollo Crews and of course Sami Zayn. They made it into a tag match. Babe, can you give me the block off the floor, please? They made it into a tag match which it was pretty good. Let me keep putting over the. It was pretty good. So, oh, thank you, Sasha. Appreciate it. It can't go up there. That's all I wanted to do. Thank you. So anyway, I'm trying to figure out how to get past. So Biggie was going up against them. They had a match. It turned into a tag match, and then they had a little thing between Biggie and Apollo Crews. And Apollo Crews just like he just went in and was just like, don't get too comfortable with that title, because I'm coming for you. Ooh, look at that. Let there be light. So basically, Apollo Crews and Biggie are gonna have a match next week. It's an open challenge, and I'm here for that. It was a lot of melanin on my TV screen yesterday, and I was appreciative of that. It was a lot of man titties on TV. It was a lot, baby. It was a lot of man titties on TV, and I was like, okay, I'm okay with that. Anywho, let me put something on my lips because they're a little dry. Anyway, so how long do you guys think Big E's gonna keep that title? I'm very curious because I want Big E to keep it for a substantial amount of time, but I don't want him to, be stuck beholden to that mid card title. You know. So how long do you guys think Big E should keep it, or rather, how long do you think he should keep it? Maybe can I have that blue cord so I can charge my phone? Cause she's dying, and I don't want it to cut off in the middle of the video. Thank you. She said, "Tip needs some holy water." I do not. Thank you very much. Rude. I'm all right, girl. Maybe I do need some holy water. Trying to plug my phone up from the top, knowing it. I feel like 2 months. You think 2 months? Let me put the comment up there. 2 months. You think Big E's gonna be on there for 2 months? Biggie should keep it longer than 2 months. I think keeping it longer than 2 months would be okay. Um, I definitely think he should keep it past Royal Rumble. Um, I don't know. They supposed to be having a nice pay per view in between Rumble. They're supposed to have a pay per view. Oh, at least until Money in the Bank. That's a good piece. I honestly don't think he's gonna keep it that long, but that's a good piece. I think the Street Profits are getting ready to drop their titles to the Dirty Dogs. I know that's not something y'all want to hear, but baby, that's about to happen, baby. He is gonna only keep that. I think that the Street Profits are about to drop their titles to the Dirty Dogs. Unfortunately for the Street Profits, they definitely could and deserve better. You know, I'm waiting for my phone to load up so I can finish the convo. He should keep it for a while. I think so too. I think having Biggie with the titles gonna get you a lot of people on your TV screen, people you probably wouldn't see under normal circumstances. You feel what I'm saying? So I think that's a good idea to have him keep it for a while. So hold on, let me see if I can find a good picture of Biggie. Did I upload a picture of Biggie? I don't think I did. Oh my god. Now the NXT, let's move into NXT. Okay. So the NXT Year-End Awards had came on this week, and I actually really was really happy with the results, except for a couple winners. So let's just go into who won this week for the NXT Year-End Awards. So Io Shirai won for NXT Overall Competitor of the Year. It's perfectly fine with that. I love that. I thought that was the smartest idea. Io was pretty much the most consistent superstar NXT has outside of the Garganos. She's always up for a challenge, always up for a fight, and her matches are always really, really good. So giving Io that overall competitor of the year, that was a good idea, and it was smart. I loved it. So Io Shirai also won NXT Female of the Year, which I'm not mad about that either. You could have went either way with that. Candice could have got NXT Female Competitor of the Year. If you're looking at the year Candice had, you could have given it to Raquel. Raquel was pretty good this year. She had a pretty decent year. Who else? There wasn't really a lot of female standouts. Charlotte was nominated in that list. A lot of people was nominated. I guess you could give it to Charlotte if you're gonna go that route. You know what I'm saying? Especially with the way that they went down with WrestleMania and all that shit. Like, it's plausible, but I'm glad they gave it to Io Shirai. So the best tag team of the year clearly went to Undisputed Era. I'm not surprised at that. I'm pretty sure that it was definitely going to go that route for Undisputed Era. I really wanted Breezango to win it, even though they didn't have the greatest year. I loved Breezango this year. I thought Imperium held down the tag team division for a little bit, and I was fine with them getting it. I also thought Legado, I think their name is Legado Fantasma, the actual group. They were very good as a tag team. The only thing is they never acquired the tag team titles. So this was a toss up for me, but I understood why they gave it to Undisputed Era. Now, Shotzi Blackheart won NXT Breakout Star of the Year, and I really, really like that choice. I was very happy for Shotzi. They could have gave it to Raquel because she had a great year, especially after War Games. She did phenomenal in War Games. They could have gave it to Shotzi or Raquel, and I would have been fine with it. Um, the NXT event of the year was War Games. I was happy about that because I live and die by War Games. I thought War Games was the best pay-per-view of the year. It was so much fun and it was so much high energy and it really just reinvested you in wrestling again. It just reinvigorated it and I loved it. So for best rivalry of the year, that went to Pat and Adam. I'm okay with this. I genuinely am okay with this. I think Pat and Adam had a very good rivalry this year. Y'all might not like it, but Peppermint Patty, aka Patrick, aka Velveteen Dream, honey, he had a good rivalry with Cole this year too. So I wasn't surprised that they got nominated for that. But this rivalry here stood out because of good old Pat. Pat was a very good antagonist in this rivalry, and he made you, if you hated Cole before, you definitely love Cole afterwards. So Pat did his job, and he really sold everything. Now, Adam Cole is the best NXT best male competitor of the year. I am not surprised by that. Cole is the longest reigning NXT champion of all time. Cole had a banger 2019 and it ran over into 2020 and he stayed relevant the entire time of 2020. So I'm not mad at this selection. I thought this was hella smart. So good for Cole. The one I'm really pissed about is the future of NXT is Austin Theory. I'm sorry, but no. Austin Theory didn't have that great of a 2020. He wasn't really prominent in 2020, and for the most part, he was on the main roster for the beginning of 2020. Then he was moved back to NXT just recently. So I didn't understand this selection. And according to the site, the fans voted them in and chose it. I was just like, girl, this is okay, but this is not. He shouldn't have been picked. I'm sorry, but this was a bad pick. This was a bad choice. Moving on into the final slot, you have the NXT Match of the Year with Balor and Kyle O'Reilly. I'm totally fine with that. I think that was a very, very good choice, and I really, really loved it. I liked their match. I didn't necessarily. I mean, our match was great. It was perfect, and it was one of the best matches of the year. But One could argue that NXT War Games was great. The matches, especially the men's match for War Games, and you could argue that Pat McAfee and Cole's match was definitely the match of the year, solely due to the fact that Pat McAfee came in sight unseen and really rose to the occasion in that match against Cole, and he was matching him bite for bite. Like that was a good fucking match and a very very surprising um ending. Like I didn't expect him to be able to even get to that point. So good on for Cole. You know what I'm saying? Good on for Matt Finn Balor and Kyle O'Reilly. They did absolutely great. So let's get out of here and let's talk about the New Year's Evil matches and the predictions. Okay. So let me pull it up so I can make sure I talk to y'all. I hope y'all had a very good day. Like I said before, I hope everybody had a good holiday. Hope you guys had a good. Did you move? Something. I don't like that now. I hope you had a good holiday. I hope everybody had a good New Year's, all that good stuff. The New Year's Evil Go Home show. So we're supposed to have a fight pit match between Champa and Timothy Thatcher, and I'm here for that. Like I'll watch that. That seems like that's gonna be fun. The first fight pit match was between Thatcher and Riddle, and I actually really really like that. Are you the lady from the Ronda Rousey video? Yes. Yes, I am. All right. So, oh, and I forgot. Y'all let me forget. The most important thing about Friday Night SmackDown was that Sonya was back. Sonya came back. She didn't really do much. She just came back and walked the halls, and Mama was, winking and, strutting her stuff down with her nice old mafia looking suit. I said, okay, Sonya, serving in the good suit. She looked good. Good for Sonya. Good for Sonya. All right. So let me get on the Insta so I can make sure I stay on topic with you guys. I had a very good day. And how was your day? Well, day was good. Can't complain. Can't complain. I am not complaining. Not at all. I'm a happy camper. All right. So let's talk about this list. Okay, because I think that's really what everybody want to talk about anyway. So let's talk about this list. Oh, thank you. My husband, the hubs bought that for me for our anniversary. The title. Bought it for our anniversary. All right. So let's look at this list. Now, if you haven't seen this tier list, okay, honey, it's a whole mess. So let me see if I can have this layout different. I can't. Okay, cool. SmackDown was good, but I can't wait to watch Raw this Monday. Um, Raw is okay for me. I watch it out of respect for a lot of the superstars that I really love. But let's get into this tier list. Okay. So this list came from WWE Fox, and they basically came up with a way to rate the superstars on the show, right? So here's the list, and here's what it means. Let me give you a breakdown. So basically, there's a full breakdown of this list on their website. And the website is Fox Sports, it's foxsports.com. And it says, this is the WWE SmackDown tiers. And this is the superstar tier list one. This is the first one. All right. And it is by Ryan Satin. So if you don't know who Ryan Satin is, then honey, we gonna get into it. I didn't like that list. WWE posted for reaction and controversy. I think it causes good conversation. I wouldn't say it was controversy, but I do think it causes conversation, and that's something that wrestlers, all wrestling fans and wrestling lovers alike like to do is have a good conversation about wrestling. We're not going to argue. We just going to point out some flaws in this particular list. Now, according to Ryan Satin, he says he's an avid reader of wrestling content on Reddit, and years back, a series of images called the Kayfabe tier list were my favorite posts. So we're just gonna for WWE just gonna forget all about Mickie James' accomplishment and put her at the lowest. Okay, I'm getting to that. I'm getting to that, y'all. I am getting to it. I don't like that list. I know y'all don't. I'm getting to the list and I'll explain some things for you guys, okay? So his inspiration for this tier list came from some Reddit posts that used to be called the Kayfabe tier list. And there's an old example of this list, and I wish I could show you, but I don't have it loaded up for the stream today, but I'll post it on my page on my Instagram so you guys can see what I'm talking about. That way we'll all have the same information if you're watching this in the playback, okay? So the kayfabe tier list served as a great reference point and triggered intense debate. As since we all know wrestling fans never agree on anything, the purpose of this list was to group WWE superstars in separate categories and track whether they moved up or down the card as the storylines progressed. Vince should have been at the bottom of the list. Well, he wasn't even on the list, sweetheart. He he's not a part of it. So we ain't even got to bring up Vince. He's not even a part of the conversation. Now it says, unfortunately, the list stopped being regularly updated a long time ago, and for years I've been hoping someone would take up the mantle in the creator's absence. Since they didn't, he decided to, uh, of course, he got the blessing of the original creators. Um, he got the blessing of the original creator. He was able to resurrect the concept and put his own spin on it. So here's the list. Let me post it again so you guys can see it. This is the list, all right? And basically, what he did was these are the categories. Biggest stars in the company, main eventers, could be booked in main events, mid-card title hold contenders and holders, regularly appearing on TV, appearing sporadically on shows, falling out of interest, and a 24/7 title chaser. So here is where a lot of people got pissed off. So let's look at the list. All right. Because, child, I mean, I posted this on my page and the comments was nasty. I mean, child, while Mickie hasn't done too much noteworthy as of late, but that ain't her fault. And that's the truth. That's not a lie. That's true. However, I if to me, I'm not mad about Mickie's placement. And I'm gonna tell you why. Based on the requirements that Ryan Satin made, that is, she doesn't belong at the 24/7 part. I would put her at D. You know what I'm saying? I would let her rest at D because she isn't on TV. She isn't in storylines. So I wouldn't put her as a 24/7 title chaser. That's being disrespectful to her. But I'm not mad that she's there simply because Mickie's not on TV and she hasn't been seen. She hasn't been booked. So even though that's outside of her, I think people are taking it very personally because you want to factor in past accomplishments as to what they've done rather than what's happening right now. So let's look at the list and see where Ryan Satin got a lot of things wrong and where he went right. Where he went right was putting Sasha and Roman at the top of the list. They are your big stars, as is Bayley, Seth Rollins, and Daniel Bryan. In my opinion, he did not do anything wrong with these two tiers, A plus and A. Okay, he didn't do anything wrong. I would put Mickie at D and Lars at F, and I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. Street Profits, that's deserve. Okay. Deserve to be A. So I'm not mad at the Street Profits being at B plus level. That's no disrespect to them. That level is clearly, let me go back to the description of what Mr. Sapp said. That level is clearly for could be booked at main events, and the Street Profits definitely can. So when you're looking at them being at a B plus tier level, that's not a bad thing. They definitely could be moved up to A plus level because they are title holders and they are some of the biggest stars in the WWE. So the Street Profits can fluctuate between both levels in my book. I don't see anything wrong with where the Street Profits are. Rey Mysterio needs to be dropped down. Rey Mysterio needs to be at the C plus level. I'm sorry. That's just true T. He needs to be dropped down. And I feel like Kevin Owens can fluctuate between A and B. He is a main eventer. That's where he resides. He pulls in the main event. He's one of those guys, and he's still a big star. And he could be even bigger. And with this fight with Roman, he definitely will be looked at as a bigger star because he's doing a very good job in making Roman look very, very good. Let's go into the not the B plus, but the B. Here's where they went wrong. They left Big E in the B column, and Big E needs to be up next to the Street Profits. Big E is a superstar. Not to mention, Big E is a title holder. Now, the section he is in is a mid card title holder or mid card. What did he call it? Hold on a second. He said it's a mid card title holder and contenders. Big E is a main eventer. He has to be given a chance to get there, and I don't think they've done that yet. And just based off of what we've seen Big E capable of, Big E needs to be in the B plus category. He's that great, and they're not giving him his just due. As far as Bianca Belair, Bianca Belair is obviously a future main eventer. And in the type of storyline she's in with Bayley, once she pulls through, she definitely can move up the list. I don't mind where Bianca is because there's room for her to move upwards. She ain't going down, she's going up. So as long as she's in that B level, I'm okay with that. But I think Bianca should be up on the B plus level where Rey Mysterio ass is, and Rey needs to be dropped down. For sure, for sure. Now, looking at the C plus level. C plus regularly appearing on TV, and then you have the C level. I think the Street Profits are fine. The Street Profits can stay where they are. I don't have a problem with that. They could very well move up too, but they don't have to. I think where they are is a good place. Yeah, I'm happy to see Big E rising up. I hope they do it right because the crowd is certainly behind him. Everybody loves Big E. Big E is great. So I don't have it. I think Big E has room to move, but they could have given Big E his just due and put him in the P plus category. And I would even venture out to say put him in the A category. He is main event worthy. They just haven't given him the opportunity to go there. So between the C plus and the C levels, C plus is regularly appearing on TV, and the C level is appearing sporadically on shows. So Carmella is in this level. Carmella is in the C plus level. Last night she got in her bag and was like, I pinned the champion on TV today. I need to be moved up. No, bitch. If anything, your ass can move down. You and the micro links that you be putting in your head every week, y'all getting on my nerves. No. Your ass need to move down. You don't need to move up. You need to move down. One pin over the champion does not guarantee you top status, bitch. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. If that's the case, if that's the case, Bianca need to be moved up too because she actually pinned Bayley on multiple occasions. So we're going by your logic, microlinks. We're going by your logic. Stop it. Stop playing with me, yo. Your ass need to stay where you at. She said, "Skibbity paps." The day I finally joined TikTok, it won't let me add a profile photo. Oh, nobody can add a profile, baby. Nobody can add a profile picture right now. For some reason, TikTok is tripping on the profile pictures. Um, Kevin needs to move up, in my opinion. Honestly, I'm okay where Kevin is. It's no slight to Kevin. Kevin can definitely move up, but where he is, he's perfectly fine in my opinion. Honestly, I'm fine where Kevin's at. A lot of people will be moved up there. Child, you ain't never lied. You ain't never lied. Okay, microlinks gotta stop. Kevin indeed needs to move up and go next to Daniel or the Street Profits. Like I said, I'm fine with Kevin being where he is. And I think that Kevin definitely has room for improvement. Jalen said, I'm tired of Carmella and her stiff ass. Not the kick stiff. Not the kick stiff. All right, so let's move on to the C level. The C level is appearing on TV sporadically. I honestly don't see anything wrong with this particular. Only thing I see wrong with the C plus and the C part of this particular tier level is that first of all, Dolph Ziggler does not appear on TV regularly. I don't see Dolph Ziggler as all, and I don't see Bobby Roode as often. I think both of them need to be on the same damn level. Murphy used to appear on TV regularly, so he's fine where he is. We do see Corbin regularly. He just started coming back regularly, but most of the time we see Corbin regularly. Um, Ruby Riot, Ruby Riot and Liv do deserve better than this, but if you're going by this recent events, they do appear sporadically on television. That's not shade, that's facts. Maybe now that the ball is rolling with them and things are going to get better, maybe they will be able to appear on TV much more. But as of right now, you know what I'm saying? He's not they're not they're where they are is fine. Natalia, Billy Kay, and Chad Gable are also in the D level, along with Aleister Black, Apollo Crews, and Lars Sullivan. So here's where I have an issue. Let me put a pin in this. Also, Reginald, aka T Paint, she calls him T Paint, impressed me on SmackDown. Let me tell you something. That little monkey did not impress me backflipping and shit off the ring. What I'm sick of, what I'm truly tired of, let me take this off so y'all can see me. Okay, what I'm really tired of is watching SmackDown and Raw and they changing the rules for shit on the fly. That's what I'm sick of. If it's a damn match and he's interfering not once, not twice, but three times, bitch, he is to be thrown out. Y'all don't I don't understand. I don't understand. That very same thing could have happened in that match had he been thrown out. At least you would be sticking to the rules. At least you would not just be making shit up on the fly and trying to make it look like you can do whatever the hell you want to do. No, get your ass up out of here. Get your thick ass up out of here, Predator. You and your microlink bitch got to go. Okay? I'm sick of both of y'all. I don't like you. I don't give a fuck how many backflips you do, bitch. I don't care how many times you go get them locks redone, how many times you edging it back because you losing your hair in the front. I don't care how many times your bitch wear the same dress, just cut it off on both sides, add some little links to it. I don't care how many micro links that hoe put in her head. Y'all getting on my motherfucking nerves. You are. You and your backflips, bitch. And all that backflipping, you still have been regaled to being nothing but Carmella's champagne giver and chauffeur. Which means you ain't shit, bitch. You ain't shit and you ain't gonna never be shit. That's a little kayfabe commentary for you. Anyway, moving on. Tanina didn't even make the list. And that's terrible. She should have at least been a 24/7 title chaser. She was a 24/7 title holder. That's the only title she's ever held. They be doing Tamina all kind of bad. Carmella ass need to be DQ'd too, child. I've been saying that, but I was told referee discretion. Fuck the discretion. That's happening every single match, every single time. That's not a discretion. That's a clear and blatant interference and a disregard to your authority in the match. But motherfuckers gonna do what they want to do. Exactly. He been getting away with too much. I'm just saying. He said not cut it off on both, cut it off on both sides. And that's the game. And that's the game. And that's on period. Where the money reside, where the money reside, where the money reside, where the money reside. He said that's on who? Mary had a little lamb. Hey, I like him. He's so funny. All right, so let's get down to this last tier. So we got the D tier and the D tier. Let me put the picture back up. The D tier is Billy Kay, Chad Gable, Natalia, Aleister Black, Apollo Crews, and Lars Sullivan. Now, here's the deal with this. The only person they running amok out there, just doing skits and shows during the matches. Child, it's so messy. Now, here's the thing. The only person I have an issue with in this D tier is Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews deserves to be on a better, on a higher part of this list. He's a former US champion. He definitely appears on TV regularly, whether it's in small parts or this bitch got her money. Janae got her sent. I'm upset. I'm so mad. We ain't gonna get into that stimulus, child. They done, well, yes, we are. Yes, we are. Because they done vandalized Mitch McConnell shit, vandalized Nancy Pelosi shit. Now, Nancy Pelosi, she's not the one who blocked you. It solely rests on Mitch McConnell's hands. All of that solely rests on Mitch McConnell's hands. He is the one who blocked the $2,000 stimulus for the American people. He is the one who shut that shit down immediately. I'm upset. This whole got her name wrong. I am so mad. Anyway, so the only person I have an issue with on this list, like I said, is Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews deserves to be higher. I think he should be in that slot where Carmella is, Murphy, Dolph Ziggler, and Corbin is. Most definitely, he needs to be moved up 2 slots. He does not need to be down here. Now, everybody was mad about Aleister Black. The reality is Aleister Black has not been seen on television. He has been seen sporadically, which means he falls in the right category, as does Chad Gable and Natalia. Now, Billy Kay is another one who I believe needs to be moved up. Billy can reside in the C plus or the C category. She definitely is seen on TV regularly, which is where the C plus and C category is. So she should have been moved up. Lars Sullivan can be moved out of this list altogether. Okay, I don't need that motherfucker nowhere near my TV. I've been enjoying SmackDown without his ugly ass on my screen, cracking my TV screen. Okay, I just got this screen fixed, honey. Okay? I'm so glad his ugly ass ain't on my TV screen. Every time he open his mouth, my TV do a little crack. I be like, oh, baby, don't let that ugliness get you like that. Don't let that ugliness get to you like that, okay? I think in due time, Billy Kay will move up too. Apollo needs to move up. Lars needs to move down below him. Child, he needs to be moved out. Just get rid of him. Just get rid of him, okay? So, the list itself was not the greatest list, but in terms of accuracy, Ryan Satin was not 100% wrong. He did have some names that was out of place, in my opinion. More specifically, Apollo Crews, Billy Kay, the Street Profits, but the Street Profits can stay where they are. Big E, I feel like Big E can move up. And Jey Uso is main event worthy, so Jey Uso could be moved up as well. Bianca Belair could also be moved up. The list is not that bad. There are some pieces that are a little out of place, but for the most part, he did a very good job on the list. Some of y'all have to remove your bias and really look at what he said. There is a criteria that he set for the list. And the criteria for the list was very simplistic. And where certain people are, most of them fit in that category. So I like this. And what's cool is I would love to see a raw tier list. Ooh, we could make one. Our own tier list. Janae got the juice. Okay, Janae. Remember that. Remember that. Because we can do that. I gotta record a few videos tomorrow, so I ain't gonna be able to do it tomorrow. But I probably will be able to do it next Monday or Tuesday. Remember that, girl? Tip petty. I am petty. I will 100% agree with that. But they need to get his ass out. Get his egg-headed ass up out of there. That nigga got more lines in his head than a little bit. It's like, damn, son, where'd you find these? Like, oh my God. All right. So now that we done got the list mess out the way, let's talk about some other stuff that people have been asking me about wrestling. Someone sent me a message about something Jim Ross said, and Inside Ropes was talking about it. Inside the Ropes was talking about it on their Twitter account. So basically what he said was WWE, he was talking in terms of WWE. He was talking about in terms of why ratings keep dropping for WWE. That was the question. Why do ratings keep dropping for WWE? His response was one of what they always say, but I have a rebuttal from Mr. Jim Ross. And we're going to get into it because, bitch, that's what I do. And so here we go. It says they don't have anybody hot. They have nobody that has momentum. Nobody is on the proverbial roll. Okay. So let's get into Jim Ross's comments. I'm gonna let y'all look at this picture for a little bit and then we gonna vibe. So in a sense, Jim Ross is right in some aspects. There is not nobody who is super on top, but he's wrong in many instances as well. Roman Reigns is probably one of the biggest stars WWE has as of right now, and it is solely because he is a heel and everyone has been wanting him to be heel, and he is probably the most nasty, vicious version of himself that he could be. He's arrogant, he's pompous, and he's a total dickwad, and he will do whatever it takes to maintain his status as the number one guy. Right now, Roman is on the proverbial roll, as is Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre is the polar opposite of what Roman Reigns is. He is your ultimate face, who, despite being a good guy, will still get down in the dirt, in the dumps to win. And that is what they are supposed to do. Now, considering the fact that, yes, they don't have any other stars outside of that, besides someone like Seth Rollins, besides someone like Keith Lee and Sheamus and all these other guys, there's not a lot going on, but they do have pieces and parts that work for them. This is not the reason why their ratings are failing. WWE's ratings are going down. And I'm going to break this down for you so you understand, so that I don't know who you're referring to when you say who. You're going to have to be a little bit more specific when you say who, baby. Okay? If you're asking me who in terms of who said what, Jim Ross said that WWE doesn't have any megastars on a proverbial roll. And the issue is, I'm just saying that that's absolutely not true. And I basically broke it down that you have Roman. Roman's at the top of his game right now, and he's one of the best, if not one of the key draws of WWE right now. And you also have Drew, who is the polar opposite, who is your perfect face. He's fighting the good fight, but he's willing to get down in the dumps to do it. He's the best version of a face character. Hello, Kayla. So the issue with WWE is not their superstars. Their superstars will roll into the roles as they come. If they put the right people in place, that definitely can happen. The issue with WWE is what OK So What said, which is consistency, but it is also the quality of their programming that they're having a difficulty grasping good TV. And it's not because they can't do it, because they have proved time and time again that SmackDown is capable of producing quality wrestling, and they can't do it on Raw. I don't understand why they can't do it on Raw, but they haven't been able to produce that quality on Raw. This motherfucker said, who the fuck is it? I'm gonna need for you to go on somewhere. That's what I'm gonna need for you to do. I'm gonna need for you to go on somewhere. I should give you 5 across the face, bitch. You had me sit up here and explain this shit, and you knew what the fuck I should slap the piss out of you. Red now. That's what my mom was saying. They don't need more stars or mega stars. It's writing. That is a key point of it too. If Jim is kind of basing this on ratings, neither is AEW, because their ratings fluctuate as well. That is 100% true, love. They're inconsistent a lot, and their storylines are not the best either. Here is the thing. A lot of people are very concerned about WWE's drop in ratings. The reality is, this is the end of the year. And most of the time during the end of the year, the ratings drop because people are just not interested in what they're putting out. However, SmackDown is 100% consistent in what they've put out, and their program has not changed or differed since they put it out. And it is great programming. I just find it funny that AEW employees don't like WWE but stay watching. Ooh, maybe you hear that? Can I have my bag from back there? I'm gonna eat my french fries, bitch. I heard I heard some glass breaking. Shoot. Oh my god. That's the crazy part. Since we're all supposed to be the flagship show. But even years ago, I always favor what they would do for SD a lot of times. Me too. Me too. All right. I feel like the repetitive storylines that have no twist or meaning is a problem. That is a part of it too. Hate watchers watch more. Watch more than fans do. Yes, they do, darling. Don't be laughing, Don, because you ain't shit. And you know you ain't had me sit up there explain all that shit. And you know you was acting a damn fool. WWE ratings since COVID has stayed within their average, just like SmackDown. AEW ratings fluctuate between 200K on a weekly basis. Oh, Janae coming in with the hard facts, honey, with the hard facts. Listen, AEW stay yelling demographic, demographic, demographic. The reality is TNT don't care about demographics either. They care about ratings. Now, if you are sitting here telling me AEW is pumping out millions of views every week, you lying. You lying, because even you watching the show know that some of that shit be thrown at the wall and it don't stick. It don't. It be thrown at the wall and it don't stick. Now, Jim Ross even pointed out a big flaw in their own company and dogged out his own superstars, his own people, but he was telling the truth. The focus of AEW is always about the flash, The big grandiosity of it all, big old moves, always got to have something big, high flying going, but you ain't focusing on normal aspects of wrestling. You ain't never doing that. You're not giving us the best aspect of wrestling, which is the fight. It's the art of the fight. Your storylines can use some work. That's not trying to be rude or disrespectful, just like WWE storylines need work. Your storylines need a lot of fucking work. Y'all will move from a storyline from week to week, and then we'll double back to that same storyline a month or so later and have a whole fucking pay-per-view centered around this storyline that haven't been viewed in weeks. And that's just facts. That's not even trying to dog you on being on your ass. But if you're gonna come for WWE, then at the bare minimum, you can have your say about AEW as well. They both have their flaws. It depends on which flaws you're willing to accept. Now, as I said, WWE's biggest problem is they don't know how to be consistent with a good storyline. Sometimes they will beat a storyline to death. You come back, you watching it, they got another match. Case in point, the Hurt Business versus New Day. They browbeat that damn storyline so many times. It was just over and over and over again. You saw that match between Cedric, Kofi, and Shelton and Xavier 5 times before they actually wrestle. That is way too many fucking times. Like, I'm gonna need for y'all to start beating them up in the back, interfering in other matches. Make this worthwhile, because at this point, y'all just mad because you keep getting beat in a match. That's not good enough no more. You got to do better than that, WWE. And Vince got to start making rivalries worthwhile outside of the WWE Championship and the Universal Championship. There is more to wrestling than just those belts. You got to start making shit fun again. And if you don't, nobody's going to watch it. Now, people was pissed and in their feelings about Randy Orton setting the Fiend on fire. But you same motherfuckers would have been the same ones if AEW had did it, riding their dick for weeks, talking about look how great AEW is making stories. He set that nigga on fire. The Fiend done kidnapped people. He done put them in the mandible claw. He done did so much shit. Set him on fire, didn't do nothing to him. He all right. He is all right. Shoot. Y'all wanted edgy. Y'all wanted raw. Y'all wanted shit that was gonna pop. You got it, bitch. You got it. NXT averages 670 plus K weekly. If NXT ratings change, it always goes up in views. It never goes down. That's facts. Besides their Brody Lee tribute, which I loved, I hate AEW due to the fact that they say talk about demographics, but can't even get past 700 views. And their women's division is stale as hell. I ain't gonna give AEW too much flack because they did lose a superstar. So I'm gonna give them a couple weeks to get themselves back into the rhythm of doing things, because they did do a very good tribute show to Brody Lee, as they should have. That's where he was. That's where he last worked. That's where he resided as a superstar, and that was their job, to give him a good tribute. Okay, so he was supposed to get that. And another thing, WWE didn't give him a 10-bell salute. No, they didn't. But they didn't give Shad Gaspard one either. And it's not because he didn't deserve one or he didn't earn one. It's simply because he didn't work for the company when he died. He was no longer there. They made contributions, true enough. They had an impact on the wrestlers. I'm not disputing that. I'm not knocking that. And I'm not saying they couldn't have given him one. But it's not fair to pick and choose. I feel like the right people gave him the 10-bell salute. It should have been AEW. That's where he worked. That was his last place of work. And they still gave him a tribute video. It was circulated on the web, and they mentioned it on TV, on SmackDown, and they still had his tribute on their website, as well as before each show, and they made sure it was posted on all of their social medias. So WWE did do their job. So let's just leave it at that. I don't understand what the real issue is between the two companies. Anyway, the issue is most of the people who work for AEW either used to work for WWE or are disgruntled former WWE workers. So Cody used to work there, and he was upset with how he was treated. He felt like he was a main event star. And quite frankly, the only reason why, to me, Cody Rhodes is at the top is because he left and went to New Japan and was able to piggyback off of. He was he was piggybacking off of the elite. I don't think if Cody had joined the elite, that he would have gotten all this clout that he's been getting. If he wasn't a part of the Bullet Club or the elite version of the Bullet Club, that shit would not go down like that. And that's facts. I'm not even trying to be funny, because not even trying to disrespect Cody, but Cody's not that great of a wrestler. He's decent, but he's not the greatest in the world. And he's not the best talker. We all know this. I ain't even trying to make fun of the boy. I'm just telling you the facts. He's not the best talker, but he can sell a storyline. I will give Cody all of the credit in the world. He can sell a storyline, but he ain't somebody that I would be like needs to be world champion. He's my mid-card guy at best. And then maybe once he gets to be champion and be the top guy. But other than that, I wouldn't have him as my top guy. And that's just me and my personal opinion. And I ain't shitting on Cody. Like I said, sells the story very well. And he's not a bad wrestler. He's one of those guys who's in between. He's not extremely spectacular, but he's not terrible either. He's good. They pissing a bitch about them using a dummy for the Fiend, but praise a match where you have to throw someone in a vat of orange juice, or starting a program over a busted video game. Ooh. Let me pay my burger before it get cold. Oh my God. You do not have to do that, honey. You do not have to read them like that. One makes their entire existence about bashing and outdoing the other. Well, in AEW's defense, they've been cooling out on that lately. So I got to give them that. Would you say that's where Brody's money resided? Well, no, all jokes aside, that's where he got paid last. So I feel like that's where he should have been given his biggest tribute, which he was. They did a beautiful job on the tribute. His kids were there. They had a good time despite the circumstances. And that's what it should have been about. Sorry, y'all. Okay. Plus, they're putting the best of Luke Harper on the WWE Network. Yes, they are. I forgot about that. Thank you for that. Just like how some people from TNA used to be. Yes, 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 baby. You know, you got it. You got it, honey. Also, a lot of AEW wrestlers tried out for WWE and didn't make it. That's a whole mess, honey. Child, that's a mess. So, like I was saying, we just gotta do better. That's all. I'm not saying Cody's terrible. He's good. He's just not great. You know what I mean? However, WWE has to fix how they approach wrestling. So they were able to revamp themselves before. They can definitely do it again. I like the days where we had general managers and we had the authority and we were able to be like, I hate them. I want to see something. Like they need to fix it. You know, we love that because that was like watching your ultimate villain on TV, you know? And I miss those days. I really do. So I hope that they find a way to bring back the fun aspects of wrestling because WWE sure can use it. And like I said, it's not always about the stars because you can have great stars and still have a shitty product. Just saying. So, what else did I want to talk about? One more thing I wanted to talk about. What's my predictions for 2021 and who should be champion this year? So I get this question a lot. This question is probably one of the most questions I get when I go live on my Instagram, when I go live here, and when I go live, or rather when I have comments in my on my Instagram. It's one of the biggest questions I get. So, oh yeah, who is that dude that was ruthlessly speaking ruthlessly about Alicia Fox? I was surprised at what he was saying, and I think that was the same dude that slut shamed Alexa, right? Yes, that dude is named JD from New York. And as far as I'm concerned, yes, baby, you got it. As far as I'm concerned, JD from New York opinion doesn't matter to me, nor does it resonate with me. Him talking about Alicia Fox not being a legend and him not speaking about Tori Wilson is bullshit to me. Let me make this clear. So if Tori Wilson's ass can be a legend, then Alicia Fox can be a legend. And I ain't even trying to be funny, but Alicia Fox was the only Black Divas champion. And she was one of the most athletically gifted women they had back there. Now, I am not a fan of Alicia Fox. I never have been. I never will be. But I can recognize a person who has capability and ability. I recognize it and I acknowledge it despite my personal bias. And that's where he and I differ. I can say where I don't really too particularly care for the Mrs. character as a whole. I do recognize his what he contributes and what he brings to the table. He is the epitome of what a heel should be. He's arrogant, he's pompous, he has his little fly by night way of speaking, dogging people out. He's got his one liners, and he's very good. One of the best talkers on the microphone that the WWE has seen in a very long time. So I respect what Miz brings to the table and I respect him as a character. But I'm watching it and I can genuinely say that if he wasn't there, I would most definitely miss him. You know what I mean? So when I say I hate Miz, I don't mean it in a general sense. I mean it in the sense of this is kayfabe and he gets on my nerves. Right now, what he's doing with John Morrison, that ain't cutting it. You feel what I'm saying? Like I need more from him because he's better than that. And he's done better than that just being IC champion. You feel what I'm saying? So my deal with JD from New York and a lot of people who critique wrestling is they don't know how to remove their personal bias and just put it to the wayside and actually assess it with just pure facts. You have to come from your own personal bias and then talk about the girl being an alcoholic. Her being an alcoholic is irrelevant to her WWE career. It's irrelevant to her WWE career. It has nothing to do with what she accomplished and her being there. She was there during a time where women were getting only 2-minute matches. She was also a former champion. And she was there during the women's evolution and the revolution of the women's division. She's been there throughout 3 changes of the women's division. So you cannot deny what she has done and what she contributed. It is very disrespectful to come out and say those things about her and then in the same breath not mention anything about Tori Wilson. And we all know Tori Wilson was famous because she was pretty, she had nice boobs, and all the guys wanted to fuck her. And that's why they had her ass out there. They didn't have her out there because of her athletic ability. And if niggas are saying that, they lying. You're lying, G. You know damn well that that's not true. The very same reason why they had Stacey Keebler out there is the same reason why they had Tori Wilson's ass out there, Dawn Marie out there, and yes, Barbara herself, Kelly, because y'all was pretty, y'all had your titties done, they was perked up, you smiled nice, you looked like you smelled good, and the boys wanted to fuck you. That's why you were there. And I'm not trying to shade nobody. I'm not trying to dog nobody. I'm just telling you the truth. That is the truth. Now, am I saying by any means that they don't deserve to be respected? No. But I'm saying what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If the girl who come out there with the puppy, shaking her ass 2 seconds and giving you 1 to 2 minute hurricane runner and maybe doing a couple forearm punches is good enough for her to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, then the black girl who's been regaled to the crazy bitch for her entire career and been the only Divas champion, the only black Divas champion they allowed to hold that title, then she deserved to be called a legend too. And that's just facts. And you can get mad, scratch your ass, and get glad. I don't give a damn. That is the truth. Period. So let me go back to some of y'all. So Janae says Pat Book can be GM for Raw and Adam Pearce can be GM for SmackDown. I 100% agree. So you can have all the ingredients to still make a nasty recipe, and that's on period. Okay, you definitely can. JD caters to a specific kind of wrestling fans and sales. You know what? I've heard some of his rhetoric, and I tend to tune him out. He makes some points, but because he's always about the shock and awe, that doesn't get through to me. His points don't get through because all he cares about is shock and awe. Now, I'll admit, I make fun and I joke and I jest and I'm talking about people, but I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Like, you're intentionally being disrespectful to people, and that's not what I'm doing. I'm not sitting up going through their profiles, looking at their regular lives, trying to find different ways to talk about people. Like, I ain't got time for all that. I comment on what I see, and that's all. It ain't even trying to be all up in people's business and none of that shit. Like, you mad disrespectful, bro. I'm ashamed that he's from my state. Girl, everybody that's from your state ain't gonna be good people. Now, I'm not saying he's not a good person, but his mouth is foul. And one thing I've always learned, hood 101, is if you're gonna talk shit, you better be able to back that shit up. Because I guarantee you, if it was a hood nigga that was coming into the game and was wrestling and heard this motherfucker talking shit, and y'all was based in New York instead of Florida, oh, niggas would be at your house. Ask Charlemagne. He know. Niggas about to tear him down over some kid. He know exactly how that shit go. When they ran the Legends commercial, Mickie James was in it. She deserved to be in it. I hope they ain't trying to retire her because she still got something left in the tank. I don't think Mickey's gonna retire. I honestly think Leisha is a legend due to her accomplishment as the first and only African American Divas champion. Foxy also made them girls look good several times. She used to sell the fuck out of them in matches. Talking about me. Talking about me. Only black Divas champ. Foxy had a longer career than many girls had too. Yes, she did. Riot Squad needs to be tag champs. I'd like to see Nia, Shayna, or Lacey as women's champ. I think Gable and Braun could make a good U.S. champ. I'd like to see Ali get built up and become WWE champion. Ooh, child, might be a long time before Ali become WWE champion, baby. Also, just to clarify, because I've seen a lot of comments on WWE YouTube channel, you don't have to be in the Hall of Fame to be considered a legend. Christian is a legend, and Kane. That is true. I have to agree with that. No, you don't. I think Gable would be a good IC champ, specifically if they make it the workhorse title. And that's facts. He wouldn't do it to their face, though. And he sure wouldn't. He got that Candace from Real Housewives, Potomac type. Let me tell you something about her. I don't like her. She is a real victim blaming type of bitch, and I can't vibe with that. I want Keith Lee as U.S. champ before the main champ, and I do too. I do too, Janae. I think he would be a great U.S. champ. But they playing, so they playing with us. They don't like us too much. All right, so we talked about that. We talked about Mr. Jim. And all that good stuff. So now we back on My predictions for 2021. I predict that before 2021 is over, Bianca Belair will either be in title contingency or she will become champion. Somewhere around SummerSlam or Clash of Champions, in that range. I think that if she doesn't, she probably is going to be Money in the Bank winner and she might become champion next year. Let's give it, I'll say, let's start SummerSlam and move out into there. Her gray area will be SummerSlam to TLC. And I know for a fact next year, Bianca probably will be your next champion. I think though that they're gonna put that title on her much, much sooner. Bianca's the girl, as long as they don't make her lose her juice, her momentum, all of that, all that hype that she has surrounding her. I think Bianca would be a great champion to have. No shade to Sasha. I think Sasha should keep that title until Money in the Bank. And I think she should drop it at Money in the Bank, but not necessarily to someone cashing in Money in the Bank. I think she should just drop it at Money in the Bank. Either that or drop it at Extreme Rules, whichever one works for her or which works for WWE. But I think that is a substantial amount of time to hold on to a title. And I think her having it for a year doesn't give you any, wiggle room, no shoulds. It don't give you no flyer. You know what I'm saying? We want to have some fun. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather have Ali work towards the U.S. title and have Slapnuts and Predator as the tag champ. Slapjack and Mace. Baby, she said Slapnuts and Predator. I can't do nothing with her. I think they'll give Sasha at least 6 months of the title order. That's a good, substantial amount of time. But I still think by Elite Extreme Rules, she should drop it. I think that's fair. So, if Bianca Belair doesn't win the Royal Rumble this year, she has to at least win Money in the Bank. But my original prediction for the winner of Money in the Bank this year was Lana or Sonya. I'm going to probably lean more towards one of the 4 horsewomen winning the Rumble. And y'all going to be mad, but more than likely it's probably going to be Bayley, because at this point, Becky and Charlotte have both won the Women's Royal Rumble, and it's probably going to be Bayley, and they're probably going to revisit Bayley versus Sasha again at WrestleMania. And I know that people don't really want to see that, but yeah, because they kind of had to rush through the feud a bit to get it done. Probably would have played out a little bit better had it not been rushed through so much. But yeah, that's probably what's going to happen, which I'm not shocked about. But if Sonya wins, I would be 100% ecstatic about that. I like Sonya, and Sonya's probably the only heel. The only heel, and Don hate when I talk about heels because he like, oh, she's like the heels. Oh, Tiffany can't stand the heels. I'm reasonable, okay? She is the only heel that I would probably back 100% no matter what she does, because I feel like Sonya most definitely deserves any and everything that they give her. She worked her ass off through this pandemic, and she was a very integral part of why people started watching SmackDown in the first place. While Roman was still gone, Sonya and Mandy were holding down the fort. They got stiffed on them Slammy Awards. They should have been nominated and they should have won. And on top of that, after everything that Sonya has gone through in her real life, that woman has shown resilience and perseverance. She deserves to be there, and she deserves anything that they give her. And I will root for her too from the mountaintops if I have to. She deserves that. Who the hell is Daddy? Who the hell is that? I feel like soon Shayna Baszler gonna walk out on Nia Jax, and she's gonna chase after the Raw Women's Championship, more of a vicious competitor. I kind of like Shayna calm down a bit. It doesn't make her have this illusion of being unbeatable, which makes it a little bit more fun to watch her matches. You're not expecting her to win, therefore you have a little bit more love in these matches. You feel me? You have a little bit more fun watching these matches. So I like Shayna where she's at. Bianca as champion. If they have fans at WrestleMania, I feel like they will do Bayley versus Sasha. Especially in interviews, Bayley still go after Sasha and says she wants her title back. Bitch, we gotta talk about Daddy coming back. Come again, say what? Sonya calls herself Daddy. Oh my God. I don't think he's talking about Sonya. I think he's talking about the Miz being the Money in the Bank winner again. That's what he's talking about, which is some bullshit. By the way, it's some bullshit. I don't care if the Miz didn't have a problem with standing there and making sure he was the one to be able to attack Drew. He was in the damn match. He should have won. He should have not been able to get that damn thing back. God. I think it'll be Sasha versus Carmella at Royal Rumble. I do too. They're gonna end that feud and be done with it. So maybe Sasha versus Natalya, WrestleMania, Bayley versus Sasha. And the next pay-per-view is Sasha versus Sonya. Then finally Bianca, where they'll run that for about 2 months. That's actually a very good prediction. Sonya calls herself Daddy. Sonya's Daddy. I just talked about her coming back. I'm fine with it. I love to see Shane and stomp a bitch hands and toes. So as long as she get more singles matches. Nah, he meant Sonya. Sonya is Daddy and can ruin my pro for credit. I can't with y'all. Sonya is back. I did talk about Sonya. I don't think Dawn was here when I talked about her, but she did come back. Give me that cup, baby. I'm very happy that she's back. And like I said, if Sonya wins the Royal Rumble or has a program with Sasha, I'm 100% behind it because I love her. You said I was talking about Sonya. We talk about Miz too. The fuck? I cannot with you. I cannot. I love them both. All right. So let's talk about who should be champion this year. So, in regards to the WWE Championship, I think Roman should keep that title until SummerSlam, and then he should drop it at Hell in a Cell. I might die. I might. It'd probably be like 12 if I go live on Instagram. When they run Bianca versus Sasha, do you think they'll do babyface versus face or make one turn heel? Well, I think Bianca would be more like an anti-hero. I would make Bianca be the antagonist and let Sasha be your in between, because Sasha's still in between. She's not really a face. She's still got her heel ways. You know what I'm saying? I would let them run it as is. They both can talk on the mic, and Bianca can kill a bitch on the microphone. So I would kind of let Bianca and Sasha figure out where they want to be. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't make it so that it was simple for the audience to see. I would make it so that they would have to figure it out. Like I said, I'll probably go live at 12 if I go live on Insta. Now, I will say when Sonya did her walkthrough in that hall, she knew she was that bitch. Yes, God. Yes, she did. I fucks with Sonya. I like her. I think she is one of the most beautiful WWE women superstars they have. She is a very gorgeous woman. And I like her aesthetic. Sasha can be a tweener though. He said I got some shit to say. I don't mind Sasha being a tweener, but I think that they both can be tweeners, and we just watch and we decide to root for who we want to root for. Y'all always tell me that you don't have to have a face and a villain to have a good match. Y'all always tell me that. So They don't have to turn anybody. I think the match and the way that they structure it, I think that would be a good way to determine who you're going to root for. Sasha can be Sasha, Bianca can be Bianca, and you could be Team Sasha or you could be Team Bianca. Both are good choices if you ask me. That's just how I feel about it. All right, a little bit ways to go, and y'all gonna be out. Okay. So I would need a reason for her to turn heel, honey. Ruby looked like she was about to drop her drum. I can't with y'all. So I think Roman should drop his title either at Hell in a Cell or he should drop it at Clash of Champions. I think that Biggie being champion for a while works out for me. Him being champion until after SummerSlam is fine. Move him into title contingency after that. Maybe you can have Seth be your next IC champion and he can drop it to somebody else, putting somebody else over. So you have many opportunities. Don't give it to Shinsuke. Shinsuke done had it long enough. Don't give it back to Sammy. Push Sammy into title contingency or into a feud with somebody. Um, no Sammy, no Shinsuke, no Cesaro. So who we got left? Daniel Bryan, Chad Gable, Apollo Crews, Corbin. Who else is on the roster for SmackDown? Trying to think. There's a whole plethora of ways you can go with the IC title. They just have to pull it through and make it work. As far as the tag titles is concerned, oh child, the tag titles are a bit difficult. So the Dirty Dogs are going after the tag titles. I don't see how they wouldn't get them. I think they're going to beat the Street Profits, and I think the Street Profits are going to end up dropping the titles to them. The Street Profits have been champions for quite some time. So, because there isn't really much to the tag team division outside of Baron Corbin's Knights or whatever the fuck they call themselves, they're actually um, the Forgotten Sons. Unless they plan on bringing some people up from NXT or drafting some people into WWE to build this division up some more, to me, the tag team titles don't mean anything, which is sad because the Street Profits have been doing their best to hold down the division. So that's very, very sad and disheartening. So I would hope that by the time this year is out, that the Street Profits will be done battling with the Dirty Dogs, possibly get the title back. Maybe they, have another about with the new tag team. I don't know. Otis and Chad. I don't know. Put Murphy with Alistair. Maybe Murphy and Alistair could be a good heel team, and you can make them work, giving Alistair some purpose and put him on TV and letting them battle it out. I don't know. I was kind of hoping at some point Alistair would go up against the Fiend. You got two dark entities fighting with each other, and I think that would really give Alistair a breakout that he definitely needs. But with his wife being fired so abruptly the way that he was, I don't see Alistair coming back to WWE. I think he's going to wait out his contract and sit out his contract, and he ain't going to see Alistair Black on TV ever unless they are able to work this out. Which was a better baby face? Sammy, which was better? Baby face Sammy or heel Sammy? He's very good at both, just like Bailey. It took time to grow into Sammy's heel. It also took time to grow into Bailey's heel, but Bailey's heel rubbed off on me better than Sammy's heel did. I like Sami Zayn as a face, and I think that eventually he should go back to being a face character. He works better to me as a face character than he does as a heel. Another problem with WWE that I can't stand is the fact that they always make face characters, especially their male face characters. They book them to be these underdog characters all the time. And sometimes you just want a good fight. Like, bitch, I don't want to know your side story. I just want to know if you're gonna beat this bitch ass for sitting up here talking about you like this. Like, damn all of the I gotta fight for my family shit. Like, bitch, do you want how bad do you want it? That that's my point. Like, damn that. Okay. They should have Shinsuke versus Cesaro. They blame each other to see who's the wink weak link. So it leads to a match where Cesaro wins and they shake after turning both of them face. Cesaro goes after a title. I'm gonna be honest. I don't see Cesaro going after a title at all. And I'm probably wrong. And if I'm wrong, Lord forgive me. But to be real with you, I don't care to see Cesaro and Shinsuke wrestle each other. And that's no shade. That's just my own personal opinion. If you don't like it, that's fine. But that's just my own personal opinion. I don't care to watch Shinsuke and Cesaro wrestle each other. I know that Cesaro is a great workhorse, but in my mind, I don't see how Cesaro would fare if you're going to put him in a title. His only title he would be able to go for is the IC championship. If he's going for the main event, the main card, him going after Roman, and I'm gonna be real, it's gonna be a downgrade from what we've seen coming from Jey Uso and Kevin Owens. And then let's say they decide, okay, we're gonna put Cesaro in the program with Roman. If they go with your route, Marlon, and then they put Roman up against Cesaro, your ass gonna be bored. And that's on Mary Had a Little Lamb. Shit. Your ass is gonna be bored. Don't get me started on how they book the baby faces. Skibbity Paps. Johnny Baker better put Skibbity Paps on a t-shirt before I do. Shoot. Ha Davis went and got his shit trademarked. Okay? You could not put Big Fella on nothing, baby. Nothing. And I don't blame him. It's always them getting their asses handed to them 95% of the match, and then they channel their inner Hadouken. Baby, she said they challenging their inner Hadouken. What? Or they got that energy. They got that inner nine tails. They got that nine tails. Or they got that shy guy. Is that how they call it? Is that what's called? The shy guy? How you call it? Shy guy. The shy guy. They got that jitsu. They got that chocolate. They got that inner chocolate thing. You know it's funny. You know it's funny. Anyway, I like it. It's funny. You know it's funny. Anyways, so my predictions for Raw for sure. Keith Lee should be your next U.S. champion. I don't care who it is. Ew, Baron Corbin ain't never been face. I've never seen Baron Corbin as a face. Have you ever seen Baron Corbin as a face? Baron Corbin ain't never been a face. His entire WWE career, he's been a heel. I ain't never seen him as a face. I highly doubt that happens. I wouldn't know how to take that. I probably still would against him. Anyway, sorry, baby. I didn't even your legs like that. Anyway, so I'm predicting that over on Lil on Raw, there's nothing wrong with someone who's a babyface just come out and just whoop your ass, not fighting from the bottom. That's I'm saying? Just come out with your guns blazing. You ain't gotta be no underdog to fight. You can be matched. You can be equally matched, or you can match their intensity and still be a face character. Drew does it all the time. Anyway, so let me finish my statement. So for Raw, okay, for Raw, my prediction for champions this year. It's gonna sound really bad, but I think that Drew McIntyre's time as champion is coming to a close, and I think that by the time WrestleMania comes around, the Miz will have either stolen the championship from him, or he's going to take the championship from him at WrestleMania again. Okay, I'm just saying, like that more than likely will happen, and I'm so pissed that it's probably gonna happen. Anyway, so I do think that Keith Lee will probably be U.S. champion. If he isn't, they're doing a severe disservice to Keith Lee and the possibility that he could have a very good match with Bobby Lashley, as Janae likes to call him. I do think that the tag team championships are going to stay with the Hurt Business for a minute. Per Marlon, he thinks that the Hardy Bros are going to get the championship. I'm going to be honest, I still don't think they're going to get the championship, but he was right about putting them together to have them as a tag team. Me personally, I still think that they're going to have Matt Riddle go up against Bobby Lashley. I still think that. But I gave him his props for props are due. He did say that. Anywhoosies, Bear's just one of those people that gets you mad just by looking at him, and that's on period. Elias's next big show was him turning heel, and then turning heel every time he returns. Oh, child. Very dirty foot dragon ass ain't never been face. Not dirty foot. Not dirty. Baron Corbin as a face is ugly as fuck, and we can talk about his security wearing hoodies with suits. I can't. I think they will have Keith versus Sheamus versus Drew at the Rumble. I'm fine with that too. I don't have a problem with that. The Knights of the Round Table Pizzas. How do you feel about Seth's return being canceled? I don't have a problem with that. I feel like they know when the show has too much going on, and they're very selective about what they have. They could have cut out the Otis and Chad Gable and Daniel Bryan match with Shinsuke and Cesaro. They didn't have to have that match. They did it. It was cute and it was funny. I thought it was hilarious. But they could have had Seth's return that way. Don't know who he's going to go up against and what he's going to do. But I'm very interested in what they do with Seth on SmackDown because he hasn't been on SmackDown. And it's just going to be very interesting. So I don't think his return was canceled. I just think it was postponed. He was snowed in. That's why they pushed it back. Also, Brody Lee's passing hit him pretty hard. Yeah. Maybe they should put every babyface against Corbin so they can guarantee them getting cheered. You know what? You might be right. I just want to throw my phone. You probably do, Marlon, but you know what? There ain't nothing you can do about it. Because, baby, let me tell you what happens when you throw your phone. It hurts you. Not me. Because my phone is safe and sound, baby. It's real golden brown, okay? It ain't nothing wrong with my phone, baby, okay? But you know your phone. I can't protect you. You on your own. You understand? You are on your own. All right. So, my predictions for Raw are as follows. As I said, I think Miz will probably be champion before the year is out. He probably will drop it to someone else, more than likely back to Drew or back to Sheamus, or he may drop it to someone new, like AJ Styles, and they may have Styles run with it for a little bit. It's a rumor that Seth wanted to return to his old gimmick, but WWE wanted to hold off on that till a later date, like the Rumble. Just what I heard. I mean, I don't care how he comes back. I'm just curious as to how they book him. So his gimmick. I like the Messiah gimmick more than the Architect. Don't nobody want to hear boy Mr. Burn It Down, child. If he goes to burn it down, the version of Seth that he was back in like what was that 2014, when he was with the Authority. If he goes back to that version of Seth and he's still a heel, I can vibe with it because I think he'd be a good antagonist for Big E. And it really boosts Big E up to have to beat somebody like Seth. And Seth has no problem putting people over. And that's one of the things I really like about Seth. So that would be awesome. I also love the Messiah gimmick. Seth is my favorite wrestler, so I like any. But the Messiah is so good. He's so good at playing the gimmick. I don't really care for the Messiah. Personally, I'd rather be laughing and joking at his Architect gimmick because I prefer that heel to the Messiah. But y'all do you. Live your best life. I truly hope they don't rush Becky's return. I don't think Becky is gonna rush herself coming back. I think Becky will come back when she feels like it. She got a lot of pull in the back. She got some pull, especially when it comes in regards to her own career. I don't have a problem with Becky staying on, and I don't have a problem with Becky coming back. I just don't want Becky to be immediately put in title contingency. They put the belt back on her, and then we're back at Becky going through the whole roster for a whole year. That I'm not feeling. So they need to make it a little bit more realistic this time. J&J Security. Becky can stay on until 22. Oh, damn. Oh my god. They most likely will. Vince will turn anything to get the ratings up. The ratings will go up by next week. I mean, as long as they're putting out quality, the ratings will go back up. The ratings were down because people sick of fucking wrestling. Shit. Ratings wasn't great for AEW either, or any other show that's been running throughout the pandemic. People get tired, they get irritated, they've been home for weeks on end. Let's just calm down. Calm down. I think the ratings was them trying to burn Alexa Bliss alive. That was them trying to get the ratings up, bitch. The shit. I miss burning down. It's cute. I like the way it sounds when he come out. It's real hardcore. Let's see. In the women's department, let's talk about the women's division. Like I said, for SmackDown, Bianca probably will be your next champion. It very well could factor in that someone like Carmella could sneak in and steal some. Charlotte probably is your next Raw Women's Champion. However, I think for Charlotte, for Asuka's sake, Asuka should be able to beat Charlotte clean, fair, and square so she can have that win and under her belt because she deserves it. Holding down the women's division overall during this pandemic. I know a lot of people didn't like her title reign, but you have to give Asuka credit. She had a lot of people that she wrestled, and quite frankly, she shouldn't have wrestled or didn't have to wrestle, but she still wrestled them and defended that title. Okay, she was doing everything in her power to make sure, at least that's what it appeared. She was giving people opportunities that you wouldn't think would get one, i.e., Vega and Lana and all these other people that got opportunities. Ruby, Liv, and were wrestling her too. So Asuka doesn't really get her flowers, and she definitely deserves them. They already threw a towel on Charlotte. I don't need Becky coming back and getting title on Charlotte. Sorry. I don't need Becky coming back and getting the main belt back either. I want Becky back, but let's not fast track her. I agree. But that's just me. No, I agree 100%. A lot of people can't watch it without the fans in the stands. Once that is allowed, ratings will go back up. A legend. I just don't like how he pulls the Legends Night to pull up the ratings all the time. Every year is very predictable. Well, I'm sorry, but at this point, No, it's not the greatest thing, but it's a quick ratings grab, and USA Network probably came up with the idea. See, a lot of times y'all think that Vince McMahon is the main guy who comes up with these wacky ideas. A lot of y'all blamed Vince for this 24/7 title. The 24/7 title was not his idea. The 24/7 title was USA Network's idea. And I have a on the sneaking suspicion that Raw Reunion was also USA Network's idea. USA Network will throw out an idea and Vince McMahon runs with it because he has to. Because he knows that's what they want and they expect results. And they usually get it when they have guys like Stone Cold and Ric Flair, and you've got the oldies but goldies coming back. People want to see them whether y'all like it or not. So sometimes you can't always just blame Vince for everything. First, you have to stop and think. The network knows what Vince McMahon is doing is not working. So they come up with their own fucking ideas. And usually, this is one of their ideas. Just say it. A legend will come out and a heel will come out, interrupt leading into the legend hitting his or her finisher on the current wrestler. Y'all blame Vince for everything. Yes, they do, honey. And sometimes he's not to blame. Well, Becky never lost the Raw title though, so she'll get it eventually. No, Becky didn't lose it, but that doesn't mean that Becky needs to have it again. No one is saying that Becky wasn't a good champion. She did her job, she built herself up, and we're all proud of her for that. But if you're asking me if I want to sit and watch the man come back for another year as the champion on Raw, the answer would be no, ma'am. No, thank you. I've already seen that, and I'm well beyond watching that again, especially with no fans in the stands. Absolutely not. That's not something I want to see. With all the respect to Becca, you know. So now that I've finished telling you my story and my tale, um, I'm gonna go. And then I'm gonna pop on Instagram for a little while, probably around 12:30. I'll pop up on Instagram, need a 30-minute break so I can finish eating my cheap ass McDonald's. Oh, and Janae, I did use your little trick. I did tell them no salt, and they gave me fresh fries. They gave me my fresh fries, girl. So happy. They look cold now, but they was fresh when I got them, honey. So if y'all want to, my Insta is down here in the bottom, always scrolling. Okay. So you guys can most definitely follow me there on Instagram. I'll go live again. I'm gonna let people in on Instagram because people always have a better time on Instagram than they do on the YouTubers. So I'm gonna go over there on Instagram. 12:30, I'm gonna go live. I'm gonna let Don in first and let him have his say because he mad because he ain't had time. He ain't have a chance to talk, honey. So I'm gonna let him talk. And I will anybody else who want to come in, I'll let y'all come in. And if y'all want to fight, we can spar. We can spar. WWE is a multi-million dollar, if not multi-billion dollar company. They are a billion-dollar company that has several people in charge and can get ideas on TV. And WWE Network has networks that they also have ideas that they have to accommodate. That is 100% fact, socials. Yes. Becca, nice. Yes, had me some good fries. Honey, I was in the car like, these is good. Thank you, Janae. I didn't care why, but I want Oscar to be the heel and Charlotte to be the face when they feud for the Raw title. Personally, I don't care how they do it. I just want Oscar to win. Asuka needs a win over Charlotte because Charlotte has beat her every chance they got. And Asuka deserves that win. Holding down the NXT women's division for 2 years, being the dominant champion as she was, coming over to SmackDown and Raw, being the great character that she is, and being a champion on both shows, holding down the tag team division as much as she could, being champion with Kairi saying it is unfair to Asuka for her to go out or for her to lose her title and not have an opportunity to beat Charlotte and keep her title, at least by beating Charlotte and hold on to her title. Let her drop it to Nia or somebody else. But she needs to beat Charlotte for sure. That's how it feels. Alrighty. So thank y'all for joining me for my live broadcast. Like I said, I know I was late. Y'all still can't know. So don't be coming at my neck. Okay. I had to go out. I had to come back home. Had to get my fruits, get settled. And then I came on here and we talked. We had a good time. Okay. Don't turn up a good time into a bad problem. Don't do it. All right. So I love y'all. I probably will go live again next week. I don't like how Shayna broke Oscar record. Records are made to be broken, so I'm okay with Shayna breaking it. Shayna's a good character, and she's a good person. Like she's pretty cool. So good for everybody. But I understand where you're coming from though, babe. So y'all follow me on Instagram so you can go over there at 12:30 when I go live and we can chat it up again. As I said, I'll have Don in there. He'll be in there telling all the folks his business or how mad he is or happy he is, how some people getting this and some people getting that. Y'all know how Don get out. Okay, so we're gonna let Don do his business and handle his stuff. And anybody else who wanna come in, I'll let y'all in. I'll probably go live for another hour and a half, maybe. 12:30 going live on the Instas. The Instagram is right down here. And anybody who's seen this in the afterplay, you can always fast forward or whatever you want to do to hear the stuff you want to hear. But thank y'all so much for coming. And I got